Hey guys, my name is Miles Kendrick. I'm a student at FSCJ for my capstone class, MAN 4900. It's a last class to take my degree. And for the final project, I had to make a presentation for a e-commerce business strategies and the impact on marketing strategies as well. So some of the main things I'm kind of hitting on is the growth of e-commerce in the world of business, in the world of retail, the world of marketing, and specifically the impact on some of the business strategies that have come from it. You know, some of the business strategies that developed from it as well. So some of the things I'll be talking about in this presentation. The next slide. All right, so what is e-commerce? All right, so Oxford Dictionary defines e-commerce as commercial transactions conducted electronically on the internet. And that encompasses a bunch of things. That can be purchasing clothing or any types of food online or going to a store and maybe placing a pickup order or even placing some Domino's or pickup. So e-commerce encompasses a lot of things, especially in our world today where it's heavily tech reliant. So that's kind of things that's what would be that's the topic we're talking about, the definition of e-commerce. All right. So growth of e-commerce. All right. So e-commerce has gradually been growing over the last 2 decades as technology has been better developed and widely accessible for more and more people. It's only natural that e-commerce would grow. People are buying items more online, and we see a significant growth in 2020 with the pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic that occurred. In fact, in the U.S. alone, in 2020, e-commerce sales made up 52% of overall sales in the U.S. and globally, e-commerce made up in 2020 22. Excuse me, yeah, 18% of the total global shares of retail sales. Um, Of course, people were inside all the time, so they didn't really have access to go to the store and stuff. But that's kind of some of the things that happen with it. And since 2020, yeah, it's dropped. It hasn't been as the growth and hasn't dominated the market as much as it did in 2020, but it's still gradually growing at 1% every year. Making sales forecasts predict that by 2024 it will have reached 23% of the overall market share. All right. Here's a list of the companies that have utilized e-commerce throughout the years effectively. So currently, Amazon and Walmart have been the most effective at utilizing e-commerce. Those companies combined make up around 48% of the worldwide online sales in retail. And those guys did so by investing heavily in e-commerce development. As in fact, Walmart between the years of 2016 and 2017 spent over or close to $6 billion purchasing on-time retailers such as Jack.com, Bonobos. Those were both purchased in between 2016 and 2018. That really improved Walmart's grip on the e-commerce market. And we all know Amazon. Amazon amasses $5 billion in quarterly revenue yearly over the last 3 years. They've made a minimum of $5 billion quarterly, and they largely rely on e-commerce as their sales, almost more than 90%. So, but other companies as well, Target, eBay, Best Buy, Kroger, IKEA, they all have really rely on online purchases to operate as well and compete against the market. All right. E-commerce impact on management. So e-commerce leads to the development of new business and marketing strategies. This is true. So as with the introduction of new methods of purchasing items and people don't have to go in the store, managers have to adjust how they market and adjust how they sell products to customers. One of those ways is, focusing more on customer service centric. I'm just trying to make sure that they're, taking care of their customers more, so they're not losing out in competition to their competitors online. All right. There's a handful of e-commerce business strategies that have come out of it as well. One of the big ones right now is discounted shipping. So Amazon has really, really embodied this, but the impact of discounted shipping on online purchases is astounding. I'll read some of the statistics. So the most common reason online shoppers abandon their cart is because of additional costs like shipping, taxes, and fees. That's 48%. So almost half of the online shoppers are abandoning their cart simply because of those three factors right there, which includes shipping. And 78% of Amazon Prime members say they've signed up because of free shipping. And I'm absolutely one of those 78% of people. That's probably one of the only reasons why I have Amazon Prime, is because I want the free shipping. Especially, and it encourages you to want to purchase more items. In fact, 24% of consumers would spend more to qualify for free shipping. You put that minimum $50 you got to spend, and you're at $41. People are a little more apt to spend that extra $9 or whatever in order to get that free shipping, and that just boosts sales overall. So free shipping or discounted shipping has been a huge, huge, huge plus on online sales that companies utilize now. Another one is product filtering. So having a business that relies heavily or operates heavily online or entirely online for some cases, it can be overwhelming because you can offer so many products that you can't in a traditional store simply because of space. You have a warehouse to store your gear. Somebody places the order, you go in the warehouse. Versus a brick and mortar store, it's just not feasible typically to offer the same amount of product. So online retailers, what they have to do is they offer product filtering. So on their website, they'll allow you to choose certain key factors and descriptions that help narrow down what you're looking for. And that's one of those things that came from e-commerce that's helped improve this. And so having a smooth, method of filtering through products has been one of the keys that companies have kind of fixated on to be successful in their industry. And this isn't just a matter of just offer as many filtrations as you possibly can. In fact, a lot of customers can get overwhelmed by how many options that the website is actually offering them. So, around, and it's statistic, I'll just read this one. It's a good one. Sites with mediocre product lists usability saw abandonment rates of 67 to 90%, whereas sites with just a slightly optimized tool set saw only 17 and 33%. So you're talking about over half your customers are leaving simply because your product is not easy to find versus, if you make it. So this is why the filtering option is really beneficial. All right. And then we'll talk about the rewards program. So rewards programs, we're all familiar with them. You go into the shopping store, they ask for your phone number or your email or your rewards number. Those are one of the things that have come out of e-commerce business strategies that have been really effective in not only attracting new customers, but retaining loyal customers as well. 62% of consumers spend more money on a brand after signing up for a paid loyalty program. And 52% of global brands are investing in mobile technologies like digital wallets as part of their customer loyalty strategy. So companies are investing heavily in the customer rewards programs because they're seeing that retaining customers is much easier than attracting new customers. And one of the incentives they can offer is a rewards program. And then issues facing e-commerce. So e-commerce isn't, the perfect fix. It's issues that come up with everything in this world. And one of the issues that we have is you have fraud, right? So it's much easier to, conduct fraud online simply because the vast amount of people that you have access to and technology is so advanced. So in 2022, we've seen $41 billion is lost to e-commerce fraud, and there are predictions that 48 billion will be lost in 2023. And over 40% of people prefer to get their questions resolved. I'm going to talk about that too, actually. So a lot of customers prefer to speak to a human rather than an AI. So one thing that e-commerce does, it takes away that person-to-person interaction. A lot of customers kind of value when they're making major purchases, like a laptop or, maybe some shoes or some clothing. They need somebody who's going to help them out. And 40% of people prefer to get their questions resolved through live chat than any other way, meaning with a person, not an AI. Another issue is cybersecurity, right? So, people putting their information online, that becomes kind of like a hub for people to kind of attack to make sure they're trying to get access to whatever information this person has. So we've seen issues with cybersecurity, but then we've also seen that companies that started investing heavily in their cybersecurity to protect customers. There's a few issues that come up with it. And in e-commerce on my career, all right, so e-commerce has been rapidly changing the industry in every single facet, right? For the consumer, for the employees, and for the managers, right? And one of those things you have to understand is the direction of sales as a manager, right? So in order for you to be able to effectively run a sales team, you have to be able to stay vigilant on what direction the market is going in. You can't, otherwise your team's going to fail, especially in a market that's changing so frequently today. Another one is advising business departments. So if you're advising a business department or you're starting your own business, you have to understand where most of the money is moving, especially in retail. You have to know where people are buying their products at. And if you see that, hey, a lot of people are purchasing products online, it's important for you to understand it if you want to start a business. Otherwise, you're kind of cutting off a huge portion of your market. Another big one is you got to remain flexible for your team that you lead. So, adaptive guy. There's a changing environment. It's changing so rapidly that you have to adapt in order to remain afloat in this industry without drowning. Because every time that you're not adapting and you're not remaining proactive and you're not adjusting to the new market, your business is failing and you're losing customers because you're not as modern as the next company that pops up. So that's why understanding e-commerce is so important if you want to be a manager in today's world, in retail specifically, because you're operating in a market that is heavily leaning towards being online primarily in the next 10 years. So some of the reasons why, it's important in my career. And thanks for coming. There's just references for research and stuff like that. It's over there.